Okay, I'm back. It's still a little wet. I'm gonna just outline where the eyes might go. And try not to smear the black I just put down. And again, if I don't like where this is placed, I can change it. It's not etched in stone. Okay, so we have that so far. Okay, so I'm just going to take a sip of my tea here. Okay, so now let's work on her hair. Now that this is pretty much, there's still some damp spots, but I can work with it. And I'm just kind of doing a rough little sketch thing here to feel it out. Sometimes I do this and sometimes I don't. Sometimes I just get brave and bold and just start putting down the acrylic and the paint and starting to just do hair anyway, but right now I'm just gonna. So when you're doing hair, you want to figure out where do you want the part line. Now typically I do the part in the center. So keep that in mind, where the nose is, the center of the nose, and kind of doing it there, right? If you want a side part, you could have it here or there. Because I want to make use of this page here, I'm putting a center part and I'm going here. I'm not really one for side parts. I don't know. It's just me. It's a personal preference. There's been a couple of drawings where I've done the off-centered, or where it's off to the side, but personally I'm more of a center part kind of girl. So now you want it to cut into the face, the forehead, and slightly into the face. Okay, so play around with it. Better to start up high. So if you're not sure, start up high and then look at it and then keep adding lines and work your way down until you got it where you want it. Excuse me. So this isn't actually doing the hair. You're just kind of laying where you want it. So I want the hair going right into the next page. That's where I'm thinking. So I'm just kind of just windswept. And she's obviously going to have some hair here. So I'm going to have this. So I'm just going to bring this. I'm having it cut into the eye a little bit because I like that look. There, I went too far in, but again, it doesn't matter at this point. So, all right. So all this here is just going to be all covered up. So she's going to have all this nice hair. Okay, see how simple that was? Not a biggie. And this is, now on this side, think of if you're having blowing hair. Think of when your hair's blowing in one direction, right? So hair on this side isn't just hanging straight. It's kind of being swept too. So in that case, I would have it kind of going here. Now there isn't much space here on this page to really give the full effect of it. But your hair is usually kind of being swept behind you to go that way, along with the hair that's here on this side. But also too, when you have long hair, you know this, you have some strands kind of going across your face. So you could even have that later on. You can add those lines where it's just kind of going across the face. So, okay, there we go. So I have her eyes there. I can see right now one is a bit bigger than the other, and that again is okay because this is not etched in stone. And I'm just gonna make it bigger, or I might even go, the end result might even be smaller. It doesn't, it's not a defining thing right now. Okay. I have some of this black paint here. I'm just gonna, Don't want it to waste. I'm just going to put it there. All right. So I need another sip of tea. Okay, so now what? Well, I can start working on her hair, but I'm going to focus more on the face still, because the hair, once I start doing the hair, it's going to make her face smaller, and then I'm going to, you know, I won't be able to work as well. So I'm going to keep working on her face and her eyes, and then the hair will come a little bit later once I know the eyes especially are pretty much set. So once I have her eyes done, then I can add the hair, and that means the hair can cut in a bit to the eyes, and that sort of thing. Okay, so let's do that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to just not talk as much right now, because I just like to dive into the face, dive into the painting, and just focus on that. So I'll do a little talking so I can explain as I'm going along. But yeah. Actually, having said that, now I have to explain. So with your eyes, you have the crease right above. Now, here there's a little bit of white, so I have to bring in some of my skin tone paint. And I'm just going to use my little fine tip brush and just going to bring that in. And just to get rid of that white. And again, don't worry about the defining eye lines, because it's all going to be going over again. You just want to cover up the whites that were there. Okay. All right, so that's done. Clean that brush. I don't like leaving my fine tip brushes just sitting in water. I do clean those right away. Helps prolong their lifespan. Okay, so let's go back to the eyes. So we have our eyes here, and I just scraped the paint off because it's wet. Smart move, Tina. Again, doesn't matter. It happens. Okay, so taking my black pencil, we all have on our eye, we have that little crease. So we need to add that little crease. So because this is wet a bit, it might scrape the paint. Okay, so we're just gonna, you bring it in. So it's basically creating a line, almost like a crescent moon shape right above. Keep it light. And it's just creating that crease. And again, it may not look okay right now. It will. So just go with it. Okay, so then a bit above that, you want the eyebrows. So I'm going to stay in line with where the eye ends, because you don't want her eyebrows starting over in the middle of her nose. And I'm just going to do the eyebrow here. Okay, and then doing the same thing here. And I have this here. And again, if you screw it up, it can be adjusted. Take a step back, look at it. Okay. It's a lot of going over. It's not about just, oh, here's a line and then I'm done with that. It's about going back and reshaping, reapplying, and all that sort of thing. So it's never just one application, one visit, one whatever to a certain area. Okay, so now I'm just going to continue to keep working on her eyes. So in this part here, I'm just going to not talk, and I'm just going to paint and draw and do everything, and you can just watch along. Okay. So, I've added highlights again back. I've done some more shading here around her eyes. And what I'm going to do now is I'm going to take my fine tip brush here and I'm going to, so focusing on highlights here. Now, generally, typically, there's, for shading, we have some shading, obviously, here, recesses the eyes in. We also have a little bit of shading here where the nose is, right? Like in the center dip we have between our lip, upper lip, and our nose. So there's a little shading that goes on there. Okay, and then obviously underneath the bottom lip, there's some shading there. Okay, so the other thing, now going to highlights, is at the peak. So highlights happen on the highest points of your face. Okay, it's where the sunlight or just whatever light naturally touches on your face. And it always touches the highest parts of your face. So that's why the top bridge of your nose, up here, just under your eyebrow, you will get some highlight. So I'm just going to add some there, and I'm just going to take some here as well. Again, don't worry if it's like, oh, it just looks like this white stripe. It doesn't matter. Again, blending and working it in, it's all about layers. So this is just adding that layer of highlight in. Okay, I'm going to add the whites in the eyes. So we're going to do that to get the eyes more defined and shaped. Now, if you want it to be more, you don't have to use white. You could use another lighter color. It's up to you. You could absolutely use a lighter color to add highlights. I'm working with acrylics, so I'm obviously using acrylic. You could also use pastels. You could use water-soluble pencils and crayon, whatever you have. If you wanted to use those instead of acrylic. Just though I do mixed media art, I mostly use acrylic. The bulk of it is acrylic. Okay, so now we're going to go in and we're going to do the lip. So the reason I'm going in with this color of white is so it gives a foundation for when I add a lighter color without making it look like she's wearing lipstick, because I don't want that look. So it's just to lightly define the shape of her lip. And we're gonna go right to the tip there. Okay, so see how that's brings it in a little bit more. And again, this is not the final thing. It's just laying down the foundation. Okay, so we have that. Now I'm going to clean this brush, give it a good wipe, and put it back. Okay, so I just wanted to mention that. Now I'm going to go in, like I was saying, the high points, so your cheekbones up here. I actually also have an off-white, where is it? I have this other color. It is called Unbleached Titanium. So it is an off-white. So I can also use this as well. and just just a second, I'm going to have some tea. And just kind of bring that in. So top part here, and somehow black is on my brush. That's okay. All right, so this is where baby wipes come in. They help with the blend. Okay. Bringing in some there. Some there. And gonna get a little bit more. And I'm gonna do some here. This paint and this particular color is kind of goopy, so it's not going on as nicely. But if you go over it with the baby wipe, it helps blend it in more. And then you can bring your brush back in and work it in. So do it like a ball. You want to kind of do a circular motion, like a ball. And of course the chin is another space or area where we have a highlighted area. So we have to do that as well. And just, okay, so we see that. Okay, so I'm just gonna cover this one back up. Okay, that didn't go on properly. All right, I'm going to stop it there from now. This is going to be a long video. Otherwise, I'm already hitting about 21 minutes on this one, in addition to the first part of the video, part 1 of the video that I recorded first. Well, actually, so this is going to be a total of over 20 minutes. So I'm going to stop there, and I'm going to keep going, I think, and just kind of continue adding and blending. And I'll continue to record on that, but it'll be in a separate video, okay? But for today, I'm going to end it here. So I hope you found this enjoyable. I hope you found it enjoyable. I know I'm a little bit more mellow today. It's Monday. I'm still kind of, working my way into the week kind of thing here. I'm kind of in that more relaxed mood today. But anyway, thank you so much for joining me in the studio today. And we'll check back in together again. And I'll have you back in here with me when I continue to work on this face. Take care. Have a great day.